Ife, the eternal flame of African civilization, before the pyramids rose in Egypt, before Athens spoke of democracy, and before Rome carved stone into empire, Africa was already home to organized civilization. In the heart of present-day southwestern Nigeria stands Ife, a city older than empires and older than many written histories. Ife is not only a place, it is the ancestral homeland of the Yoruba people and one of the earliest centers of African civilization. To the Yoruba, creation itself began in Ife. According to tradition, Olodumare, the supreme creator, chose this land as the center of existence. From there, Obitola shaped the first humans from sacred clay. And Oduduwa established kingship and social order. From this foundation emerged a spiritual and political system that influenced much of West Africa. Ife became known as the city of 401 Orisha, a sacred space where religious life, governance, and culture were deeply intertwined. These beliefs remain alive today through festivals, rituals, and royal institutions. Beyond tradition, archaeology confirms Ife's deep antiquity. At Eleru, known as the Cave of Ashes, researchers discovered human remains dated to over 13,000 years ago. This finding places the region among the oldest known areas of continuous human settlement in West Africa. It challenges the idea that Africa lacks ancient history and demonstrates that organized life existed here long before many parts of Europe developed urban societies. By around 1000 BC, Ife had developed into a fortified settlement. By the 9th century AD, the Ilé-Ifẹ, capital city of the empire, had grown into a large, carefully planned city with an estimated population exceeding 100,000 people. The city was governed by an organized political system headed by the Ooni of Ife, supported by councils, palace officials, and spiritual authorities. Residential areas were arranged in expanding rings, and administration extended across provinces. Governance in Ife was based on law, ritual authority, and social responsibility rather than conquest. Among its rulers was Ooni Gbàgìdá, the only woman to sit on the throne of Ife. Her reign in the 10th century demonstrates that leadership in the empire recognized wisdom and capability beyond gender. Her legacy continued through the founding of Iwo Kingdom and remains an important part of Yoruba history. Ife is also renowned for its artistic achievement. Between the 12th and 14th centuries, Yoruba artists produced some of the most naturalistic sculptures in the ancient world. The Ife bronze and terracotta heads, created using the lost wax casting technique, display remarkable realism, balance, and technical skill. When these works were first encountered by European scholars in the 20th century, many refused to believe they were made in Africa. Yet they were the product of local knowledge, craftsmanship, and spiritual expression, created centuries before the European Renaissance. The city was not isolated from the wider world. Ife played an active role in regional and trans-Saharan trade networks. Through what scholars describe as the Bead Road, glass beads produced in Ife circulated across West Africa and into the Sahel. The city exported ivory, iron tools, textiles, copper objects, and bead currency, while importing salt, silk, wheat, and foreign religious items. This trade network supported a strong economy and connected Ife to distant societies. Urban life in Ife reflected advanced planning and environmental knowledge. Buildings were constructed with burnt bricks and decorated with polished stone fragments. Courtyards collected rainwater, and clay drainage systems supported sanitation. City layouts followed symbolic and spiritual principles, aligning important spaces with natural elements such as the sun and moon. Architecture in Ife combined practical engineering with religious meaning. Among the traditions associated with Ife is the story of the moonstone, an object believed to possess unusual properties and associated with Orenf, the deity of fire. While its exact nature remains uncertain, the story reflects a broader theme of technological curiosity and spiritual symbolism that characterized the civilization. Like many African artifacts and forms of knowledge, such traditions were disrupted or lost during the colonial period. By the 15th century, environmental changes, disease, internal challenges, and shifts in regional trade weakened the Ifẹ Empire. However, its influence did not disappear. Instead, it spread through the rise of new kingdoms such as Oyo, Benin, Ijibu, and Ekiti, all of which traced aspects of their political authority and spiritual traditions to Ife. The city remained a sacred center rather than a military empire. Today, Ilé-Ifẹ continues to hold deep cultural and spiritual significance. It is the seat of the Ooni and the symbolic heart of the Yoruba world. Its legacy endures in art, governance, belief systems, and identity. Ife demonstrates that Africa's past was neither simple nor undeveloped. It was a center of urban life, artistic excellence, scientific knowledge, and economic organization. The selection of the Ife bronze head as the emblem of the 1973 All-Africa Games reflects its importance as a symbol of African achievement. The story of Ife reminds us that African civilization has deep roots and lasting influence. It calls for renewed study, respect, and recognition. Ife is where African history stands firm, and where future generations can find inspiration in a heritage that continues to endure.